वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदम। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Nectar of Instruction. So we'll continue our study. Text 4 is what we'll be continuing with today. Um, and this again Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami, the saint, the Acharya from Vrindavan, who actually laid the foundation for the practice of Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness, how to practice it, how to practice in practical sense. And look at these instructions which we have been seeing. They were sort of laid out, written 500 years ago, but yet so contemporary, so valuable, so predominant in society. And these instructions, 500 years ago, now, even as we were discussing 400 years ago, if someone read 300 years ago, 200, 100 years ago, and 100 years from now, 200, 300, 500 years from now, one will find these instructions very valuable, extremely valuable in overall. Doesn't matter, be it like school life, uni life, college life, family life, whichever life, retired life. Practicing Krishna consciousness or not yet found is resolving Krishna consciousness. But anyone who follows these instructions, reads these instructions, will find lots of gems, jewels in for progressive evolution of life, let's say. And see, Krishna consciousness, we practice Krishna consciousness. Before becoming Krishna conscious, actually, before becoming Krishna conscious, we have to become what? Krishna curious. If we are not Krishna curious, and if we are not nicely Krishna curious, we won't be Krishna conscious. If we are not, if there is not that curiosity, how can we have that desperation, that desire, that longing, that hankering? It is curiosity, na, which makes one a bit interested. I'm curious about this. Say there is a festival coming, chariot festival. Now someone not attended it or even attended. I'm curious what the festival will be like. There's this thing coming, this say some event coming, some film star, sports star, and all. I'm curious how he looks, how he talks, or what the answer will be. So curiosity is extremely important to to find our uh, say deeper inclination in Krishna consciousness, in the practice of Krishna consciousness. And the more curious we are, the more we will be hooked in by Krishna. And tell you something, the entire say philosophy of the entire Krishna consciousness can be summed up just say in one shloka. There are many different perspectives again, uh, but this one shloka can sum up entire Krishna consciousness. And this mood, this emotion we have to develop, and we cannot attain Krishna without this emotion. Impossible to attain Krishna without this emotion. So what is again Rupa Goswami himself, and we see in Chaitanya Chaitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 8 text 70, we see this as well. So what does Rupa Goswami say? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. Hmm? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate. तत्र लौल्यम् अपि मूल्यमेकलम् तत्र लौल्यमपि मूल्यमेकलं जन्मकोटि सुकृतिर्न लभ्यते. So Krishna Bhakti, na? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. Ras means we understand mellows, na? Rasa Bhavita Mati. So it is full of nectar, full of mellows. Rasbhavita Mati. Mati is like our intelligence, our consciousness, our faith, our intelligence. Mati, na, our heart and soul all to be engaged in it, channelized in it. Rasbhavita Mati. Kriyatam yadi kutopi na labhyate. Kriyatam is the value, the price, the money for it. If it can be put a price or if it can be purchased. Kriyatam api kutopi na labhyate. Labhyate is to attain. So there's no price. By paying any price, one can attain this, say, relish or joy or absorption in Krishna consciousness. In the charm, in the esoteric sense of Krishna consciousness, in the mysticism of Krishna consciousness, the only price, there is a price, and what is that price? Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. Hmm. Lolyam meaning greed, intense greed, intense hankering, so much so that I cannot live without it. We have to come to this state that I cannot live without Krishna. I cannot live without. Now, japa is not a process. It's not like, okay, I cannot live without doing my japa. Japa is a call, japa is a cry. So I cannot live without Krishna. I cannot live without having darshan of Krishna. Now we should be so surcharged that okay, now what we have been exposed to, what we have been introduced to, what we have known so much, we just cannot help but go get lost in it, get deeper and deeper in it, go full in it. So tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. Mulyam is the price, and the mulya mul. The only ekalam, the only price is this intense greed. Lolyam, greed. Greed by nature is a bit intense, and this has to be very intensified greed. Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritir na labhyate. Hmm? Janma koti by millions and trillions and zillions and of birth, and doing pious activities. Heaps and heaps of pious activities. Still, one cannot get a glimpse into the joy, into the bliss, into the mysticism of Krishna consciousness. So, what is the way? Is greed is the only way. Greed. This and greed means what? Desperation. Can there be greed without being desperate? A greedy person, he has to be desperate as well. If he's not desperate, then it is not an intense greed. Then it's like a casual. Okay, if I get it, I get it. If it comes to me, great, fine. If it doesn't come, that's also okay. And it's not greed, no. Greed means that, look, one of the best qualities of greed is a lovely emotion, say. What happens when one is greedy? He naturally, a greedy person becomes very concentrated. He's very concentrated, very one pointed. In, see, take a businessman wanting to set up a business or make some huge profit, or in his business season time, peak time in his business, he sleeps less, he eats less, he socializes less, he spends time here and there less, everything less. And it comes natural to him, say, in a way, because his greed for that promotion, for that money, for that period, that he's able to let go sense gratification. This greed, when we develop greed for Krishna, then we can easily let go sense gratification. When we develop greed for Krishna, then lust, one can give up his lust easy. When one is greedy for Krishna, when one is greedy to attain the association of Krishna or the attain the association of Rupa Goswami, hmm, we should be fascinated by the teachings of Rupa Goswami. The six Goswamis, Rupa Manjari, the principal of the Manjaris, the principal Goswami. We should be tremendously attracted, and uh, how much we cannot describe his kindness, his compassion towards us. Uh, so this greed has to be developed, and when we develop this greed, then a greedy person can give up his anger. If someone is greedy to become the prime minister of a country, what his greed will put him, like when he's greedy, genuinely greedy to become the prime minister of his country, he will always show a good face, put a good face, no? Even if he's a bit of a temperamental person, angry person, but to satisfy his greed, he will counteract his anger. To satisfy his greed, he will counteract his lust as well. To satisfy his greed, he will counteract, say, pride also. Hmm. So this greed is the only thing, and greed means desperation. There is no bhakti. Bhajan means what? Bhajna, na? Bhajan is like a chase, call, a cry to Krishna. So without being greedy, there cannot be this chase, call, cry to Krishna. Without being desperate. Few things are, this emotion is a must. What? Intensity. Intensity. Hmm? Then what? Desperation. Hmm? Enthusiasm. Hmm? And what? Eagerness. 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 Eagerness in our prayers. Prayers without eagerness is casual. Hmm? So there has to be eagerness in the prayers. There has to be intensity. There has to be absorption, concentration, hmm, a cry. Uh, all this has to be there. One thing does not have to be there. What is the difference between, this is a question, what is the difference between desperation and restlessness? Desperation and restlessness.
Desperation, Prabhuji, means trying very hard uncontrollably to get something, and restlessness means शांति नहीं मिल रही, बस चीज को, उस चीज के बारे में पूरे टाइम सोच रहे हैं, भले कुछ कर रहे हैं उस चीज के लिए या नहीं कर रहे हैं.
Sure. Anuja, what do you say?
Desperation includes excitement and restlessness. It's more of being impatient. थोड़ा देर ट्राई किया फिर रेस्टलेस गिव अप हो गया मुझे.
Any other thoughts? Is restlessness a good quality? Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to be desperate. We want to be very desperate, but not restless. Krishna does not like restless. Restlessness is what? Imposing ourselves on Krishna. Oh Krishna, I'm so restless for you. Why don't you have me? Why don't you have me? Huh? Do you not see, Krishna, my restlessness? Restless. We want to be accepted by Krishna, but we don't want to impose ourselves upon Krishna. In restlessness, yes, as Anila says, in restlessness, it is impatience. He's so restless, he's so impatient. In desperation, he's desperate, but he's not imposing himself. Restless, he could be trying hard, very restless, trying hard, and then again having this restlessness. That what carried over by an element of self-obsession. Desperate is desperate, very desperate. So we should be desperate to attain Krishna and not be carried away by self-obsession. Restlessness, see, a child or a person, he comes to you asking for a favor, some offer, and he's very desperate. Well, you can see the greed in him. Huh? That is appreciated, that it can be handled, that is somewhat sweet, that is not very disturbing, that is not at all, may not be upsetting. But a person who is desperate, say, very intense, very greedy, very trying hard, but at the same time, what? He's restless. Restless. So this restlessness is like getting on the case of Krishna, getting on the nerve of Krishna. Na? When you are restless, you get on someone's nerve. Na? When we are restless, then we are getting on the person's nerve. And that is not good. We don't want that. So in Krishna consciousness, we have to develop this intense greed, hankering, uh, this yearning. Otherwise, Krishna will be a far distant reality for us. If we want Krishna to be the reality, actually, not a far distance imagination or far distant attainment, then we have to develop greed. And it can come about only in good devotee association. Only in good devotee association. Japa is good, reading, hearing is good, but Sajatiya Sangha, association of like-minded, those devotees who have developed a mood, a bhav, who have developed a greed. We need to find out a person who cannot live without Krishna. And once we find that person, that's a big achievement, a big advancement. And then when we are in association of that person, then we should also never be able to live without Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness, to be not be able to live without Krishna. And whenever we say Krishna, we never say Krishna alone. Krishna is never alone. Whenever we say Krishna, by default, Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna, Yugal Sarkar, the divine couple. Whenever we chant, whenever we think the joy of them, Radha and Krishna. That, that yes, when are we happy? When Radha Krishna are happy. Only then we are happy. So with this prayer, with this mood, one day that we imbibe the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami, we continue our study of Nectar of Instruction. We see further text for uh, Deepti can read. Deepti can read translation and purport. We can see purport. Harsha can continue with the purport after Harsha. Maybe Anuja Mash we will see. So text for Nectar of Instruction. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्यति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव सद्विदं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. Okay, it should be coming on screen. How do we become greedy for someone? When we see the when we come across the qualities of the person, na? When we hear the qualities. So when we hear about Krishna from realized devotees, from Vaishnavas, from saints, from pure souls, who understand life to be Krishna. Life and Krishna is synonymous for them. For them, there is no difference between life and Krishna, and who are throughout thinking of Krishna, who are eternally associated with Krishna in consciousness and serving Krishna. That okay, Deepti, can you read translation? Maybe see. Without being greedy for Krishna, there is hardly any advancement.
Translation: offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Hare Krishna.
So we'll continue with the purport. Not only is the chanter. So Harsha, if you can read from there.
Not only is the chanter of the Maha Mantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jharkhand. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigranti principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachati principles can be served.
Anuja, read.
The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Interested people come to honor Prasada, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasada. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious systems. In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6.
सवै पुंसां परो धर्मो यतो भक्तिरदोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मासु प्रसीदति.
The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self.
Fill read.
If the members of human society actually want
Fill can read.
Sorry, thank you. The members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations. Yes, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, that their minds will be immediately filled with peace and tranquility. So in this regard, really back to, so I can't say that, sorry.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Thank you. Warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalist Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavada and other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. But the Mayavadis and other atheists do not want Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. But on the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Kamas. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitation. But by such intermingling, we become affected by their atheistic mentality.
Sangat Sanjayate Kama.
Thank you. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Katyayana Mahaprabhu also warned Vishaira
Anna Kaile Dusta Hoye Mana.
By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna conscious movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material and gratification.
The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within within the middle status of devotional service is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friend with devotees, show favor to ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is a brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of his Lord, of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earning to Krishna's service and 25% to his relative and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of the Dati. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnava should be served.
Mahashri, translation Pranav. Mahashri पढ़ पाओगे? Translation. Okay, Pipri translation.
Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, in life there is this thing, no? This philosophy in Krishna consciousness. Philosophy, life say, philosophy, culture and etiquette. Of these three, which is most important? This is a question. Philosophy, we generally understand like philosophy, what it means. Philos and Sophie, two words combined, love and wisdom. So, philosophy, culture, and etiquette. And we all live like in communities, family, society. We all have some world life experience. Any thoughts? What does philosophy and culture and etiquette of this? What is the most important?
To me, they are interdependent. Just by mere having philosophy,
They are interdependent, of course, yes. They affect, influence each other. They accompany or complement each other. So, which is the most important? Philosophy, culture, etiquette. Okay, Renas seems it could be etiquette.
This is the first introduction.
Reina says it could be etiquette because there's some interaction, personal interaction involved. Okay, Anuja, what did you say?
culture,
Culture. Okay, anyone? Adriana says philosophy.
It's the base.
Why philosophy, Adriana?
The base of culture, the base of etiquette.
Adriana, Adriana says the base of culture and etiquette is philosophy. And that is true. That is true. Philosophy. Culture comes from what? Na? Philosophy. Na? We read in this purport, right? For animals, there is no place of worship to go. For animals, there is no do's and don'ts. For animals, there is no like etiquette or culture. Because there's no philosophy for them. Humans, we have philosophy, and philosophy is the Aadhar, the base, the foundation of culture and etiquette. So we have to be very nicely grounded in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The philosophy, the more deep we are in tattva, in siddhant, in principles, if our the ultimate truth, the more deeply it is in our heart, ingrained, imprinted, say in our heart. hmm, The philosophically, the more deep we are, the more philosophically more attracted we are, we will maintain the culture, we will maintain the etiquette. We will come to maintaining the culture and etiquette. Now, see what can happen if we are just after culture and etiquette. Then Krishna consciousness will become like a Hindu religion sort of sentiments and fanatism kind of, or in a way it will become like a social cultural club sort of thing, na? Kitty clubs, that sort of thing. Huh? If we are just all about culture, that oh, Krishna consciousness is what men put on dhoti kurta, huh? Something called dhoti kurta. Women put on sari, or sari and all, huh? And they both men and women put on tilak, huh? Paint on their forehead, and this thing. So this is more like okay, some culture and etiquette sort of thing. But the driving thing for culture and etiquette is philosophy. So philosophy, one should be nicely grounded in philosophy. Then culture and etiquette, of course, we need to know. Prabhupada beautifully summed this up, right? What? That there is philosophy, but no culture and etiquette. Also, no religious practice of that philosophy. Then it is what? It is mental speculation. You know what they call armchair philosophy. Yeah? You know what armchair philosophy means? Phil, you know what armchair philosophy means?
Yeah, slightly amateur and looking at it from your own sort of lens.
No, not that. Armchair. Armchair. So, isn't it like, okay, sitting on a chair and just reclining or talking the talk, not living the talk?
Sitting on the fence.
Talking the talk, okay, knowing the talk, but in personal life, in practice wise, doing nothing. So, armchair philosophy, he knows everything about philosophy, but he does nothing. And he will possibly doing all unwanted things. So philosophy without religious practice, say that culture, na? So living in devotee association, how, how do we and okay, so philosophy without culture, religious aspect is a mental speculation, and we find many people hung up at the mind or intellect level. So hung up at the intellect level, there's no heart transformation real as such. They are all about awakening of the mind, but nothing like enlightenment of the mind, say, or intellect, but nothing like shift in the consciousness in the heart or awakening of the heart or softening of the heart. So that philosophy without culture, etiquette, say, or religion. Then another is what? Religion. Culture is there, religion is there, but no philosophy. Now say this chariot festival, Rath Yatra festival, one of the grand festivals in the world. One of the most joyous, celebrated, loving, intimate festival. Now many Indians, and they need not necessarily be practicing Krishna consciousness as per the teachings of Rupa Goswami, this nectar of instruction. So, of course, many Indians and others also they organize or conduct this festival, but it becomes like a more of a cultural show. What? Okay, we do this festival, we dress well, and what next? We bring out our cell phones and selfies and Facebooks and uploads and all of this, and there's something going on. Some priest or some person is chanting some mantras, but our mood is different. So philosophy is the base, the foundation for culture and etiquette, and philosophically we have to be very true. So now see the first three shlokas which we saw in this instruction, they are all philosophical oriented. The first one says na, that tolerance level. Huh? And second and third, six items which are favorable for advancing in bhakti, and six items which can kill one's bhakti. So to be watchful of. So this is all philosophical. Now this particular fourth one, na, loving exchanges, symptoms of loving exchanges. Is this more of again a question? Is this more of a philosophy or more of a culture? This particular translation, What do you say? Rupa Goswami is giving us a philosophy here or a culture here? Any thoughts?
More of a culture, but slightly instructional.
More of a culture, did you say, Phil?
I think so. I was looking at the last part where it's instructing how to sort of spread your wealth.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you say? Seeing the translation, is it more of a philosophy, what we are being told, or a culture?
Hare Krishna, bro. Culture.
Hmm. Okay, Nikhil says culture.
Yeah, philosophy.
Pip Reynolds say culture. What do you say, Phil?
It's more of a philosophy, but it leads towards a culture.
Sure. See, without philosophy, the philosophy has to be there. But in this, if I may say, the philosophy is very subtle. Say, Mm, what is yes, Karthik?
Mix of both is important, Prabhuji. Like
Okay.
Rupa Goswami mentioned in the last nectar of instruction, I believe that like if we follow the rules just for sake of following it, it is also wrong. And if we don't follow the rules, that is also wrong. So we must follow the with after understanding the philosophy behind them. We follow our culture after understanding the philosophy behind them.
Sure. So philosophy has to be the foundation. And in here, six loving exchanges, it is based on the philosophy of first three. Huh? It's based on the philosophy of first three. Or when we practice Krishna consciousness, it is to what? It is to come to this cultural aspect. It is to bring about this relationship amongst devotees. This is the symptom. How do we demonstrate our love for Krishna? Huh? When we go out or when we are in temples or even in homes, say husband, wife, married, could be initiated devotees, na? Family or not. So what stands out is the dealing, the interaction amongst devotees. If we amongst devotees, if we do not have good interaction, good dealings, then what, we are hung up at the theory level only. Then we are hung up at the head level only. That the message is there, but at mind intellect, it has not churned our heart. It has not gone into the heart. It has not sunk in with the heart. And when there is heart, when it is sunk in with the heart, then what is the things? There will be offering gifts, accepting gifts. There will be revealing one's mind and inquiring and serving, accepting prasad and offering prasad. So this brings about the culture of Krishna consciousness, and this culture has to be taken wholeheartedly. And as we were discussing yesterday, see, in society also we see this. In society, there is a offering of gifts and accepting gifts, right? There is a accepting prasad, giving prasad. Not need not necessarily be prasad, but food, say, and revealing mind. Society also, no, people reveal their mind. Uh, and share their mind and inquire and take suggestions, take feedback, and want to serve also. But this revealing mind is the most important. Important is, we know, we all understand, okay, we have to reveal our mind. It is good to reveal our mind. And there have been personalities, great Arjuna revealed his mind. Vyasdevji revealed his mind. Parikshit Maharaj revealed his mind. We see in scriptures. So we reveal our mind. Question is, who do we reveal our mind to? Who do we? Sometimes like it happened once, or it happens like devotees, they go out in book distribution. Now going out in book distribution, it could be a tough day, lots of things going in the mind, and people ignoring, people not responding, people straight away declining and all, and some people giving uh, bad messages to us directly, say. So a person could be, a devotee could be a bit challenged, find himself very challenging. Now in that situation, if he does not call the temple president, say, if he does not call a devotee who he finds more inspiration from, but rather calls whom, say, calls his granddad, who is not at all um, attracted or practicing Krishna conscious. Now, what possibly good help can get granddad give? Huh? Or if he calls his neighbor, say, or if he calls his some friend who is not tuned in Krishna consciousness. So is there any good revealing my mind? Okay, I'm outside here and I'm stuck and this is going on and all. Or the modes of material nature are so heavy on me. eh, And the prasad and I did inattentive japa and this is why it's happening. Now if I call my mother, say if I call my mother who say for example isn't tuned in nicely in Krishna consciousness, and if I tell my mom that mom, I've come out with devotees doing books and I can see other devotees doing so nicely books and they've got Lakshmi as well and all, but I maybe I had too much of prasadam last night, I was sleepy in japa and all, and nothing is working for me. And what possibly, so I'm asking the right question but to the not the right person, na? The timing also could also be right. So most important is revealing our mind is important. Then what? Equally important, who do we reveal our mind to and who do we not reveal our mind to? Who do we reveal our mind to? And in this revelation of mind, then we should be prepared enough to take the feedback also, what the other person has to offer. It is not like just I reveal my mind and the other person is giving me some guidance. And I say, okay, thank you for the guidance, I will think over it. And then no, the guidance does not tune in with my expectation. Means what? I reveal my mind with a already set expectation that you give me this answer, this is the answer I want to hear. If you give me that answer, then I will take on board your suggestion, your guidance. Otherwise I will go and reveal my mind with some other devotee, and I will continue revealing my mind until I find the answer that I am looking for. That is not what it is, no? This culture is what? Heart to heart connection with devotees. I ask a question and think of this. See how you find this question. So think of this question. And if we learned how to live with devotees, not just peacefully but lovingly, without any complaints, will Krishna have a problem in accepting us then? If we learned how to live with devotees without any grudge, without any egoistic clash, without any complaints, without any jealousy, envy, hatred, and not meaning just peacefully, yes, I am at calm and peace, I do not have any quarrel with any devotee. That is fine. It's a big community of devotees. So surely we cannot love each and every devotee. Huh? We cannot also like each and every devotee. But can we respect each and every devotee? That much should be there, right? What to speak of devotee? Mahaprabhu says, respect each and every living entity. That much should be there. We need not hate everyone. We cannot love everyone. That is beyond our capacity. That is Krishna's role. And he does also. He loves everyone unconditionally. We cannot love everyone unconditionally. What to speak unconditionally? Even with conditions, somewhat we cannot love everyone. We cannot like also everyone. That is also not in our capacity. But what is in my capacity? Not to hate anyone. That much is there. And this is bringing about this culture. If I learn the art of living with devotees and loving some devotee, hmm, living with entire devotee community, but at least I must develop love for my Guru Maharaj, for my spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita teaches na pujyata and priyata. Spiritual master should be seen in awe and reverence, in worship mode, yes, and also in a loving mood. Hmm. The best lover, spiritual master, the best friend. There should be that much of openness with the spiritual master. Real openness, real bonding. So now if someone learns this art, someone practices, someone is living with this, that he is living with devotees, peacefully, and with certain devotees he is the best of friends. Will Krishna have any problem in accepting that devotee? That he has gone through the seasons, seasons meaning the ups and downs with devotee, relationships. Yeah. He's gone through the ups and downs with in behavior with the outside world, say those who have not yet found the resolve in Krishna consciousness, and he has no complaint. Do not think Lord Brahma or Krishna, there's some database, of course, right? Wherein Lord Brahma is checking this person, who, who all has he got complaints with? Who all has he get anger issues with? Who all has he got hatred issues with? Who all has he got things with? Who all has he got love with? So if our number for against my name comes, he has got anger issues with 5 people, 10 people, or 5 items, 10 items. No. Then the criteria is not met. He has got hatred issues. He has got egoistic issues, lust issues. That slate has to be clean. That slate has to be clean. So a question, the same question, what do you say? If a devotee learns this art or culture of living in the society, living with devotees, and loving spiritual master, loving some particular devotees, will Krishna have a problem in accepting that devotee? Any thoughts?
I would say no.
No, Prabhu.
No problem. Another way to see this example, say those who, say suppose someone from India goes to America or somewhere Europe and all, and he stays there for certain period of time. Then there is what this um, green card in America, they say, no, green card. In UK they say ILR, indefinite leave to remain. Or in Australia, I think PR, permanent residency. In Canada, Australia. So the concept is you stay in that foreign country. Someone is an Indian citizen, Indian passport holder, Indian national, but say living in America and has a then applied for green card because he or she lived for a certain number of years, and he fulfilled all the criteria. So that is okay. We give you don't require any more visa now to be in the country. We give you freedom. You can anytime come in the country, you can anytime leave the country. But there will be some differences in rights with regards to a citizen of the country. So that is the next step, that you are free to be in the country. And then after getting the green card, say next is what, apply for citizenship. And in that process of applying for citizenship, interviews are conducted. There's a personal interview had with the person. And in that interview, some test, okay, language wise, do you speak the language of the country? Do you know the demographic of the country? And what is asked, do you know the culture of the country? Like, believe it or not, they do ask, do you know British culture if someone is applying for British citizenship? They honestly, they do ask, do you know about British culture? And they expect the person to respond as well, something that, yes, I know what is British culture, and 1, 2, 3, this is all British culture. So they do ask the applicant, do you know about the British culture? Can you speak about the British culture? So they do ask this, and the person, and Pip saying something. Okay. So the applicant actually has to now to tell the immigration officer about British culture, British lifestyle, how long has he lived and whatnot. Does he understand the culture and all? Has he blended enough with the society? I don't know if they ask how many pubs you've been out the pubs in, but or this thing, Monopoly games and what all. But have you blended in with the society? The thing is, even say a country giving a citizenship to the person checks that how well tuned in are you with the culture of the country, with the society. Language wise, language is very important, right? Language wise, do you understand the language? Then the pulse of the nation, say like that. And then yes, they give the citizenship. So likewise, when we have loving relationship with devotees, why will Krishna have a problem? Okay, another slight different, say another way of seeing this. Answer this question: who does Krishna live with?
Zoe.
हाँ, हर्षा, फिल, दीप्ति, अनुजा, कार्तिकेय, Nikhil. Who does Krishna live with? Krishna lives with someone, na? He never lives in isolation, na? He's never alone, na? Who does Krishna live with? With whom is Krishna now? With his devotees, na? Who does Krishna live with? He lives with his devotees. Raina said, Krishna lives with his devotees. Who is with Krishna now? His devotees are with him. And who is Krishna with? He is with his devotees. So if we have to be in company of Krishna, what is extremely important for us? To understand how to be in the company of devotees. If we learn how to be in the company of devotees, then will Krishna be away from us? See, in one sentence, if I say how to attain Krishna, what is Krishna consciousness? The day we learn the art, the loving art of following a devotee, the day we become a pure follower of a pure devotee of Krishna, Krishna will follow us. Krishna will follow us. One thing is us following Krishna, another thing is Krishna following us. Which is more better? Which is better? This is again a question. One thing is us following Krishna, another is Krishna following us. Which is better? After you all seem to have gone in a trance or what? Very shy, all of you, huh?
Well, to be us following Krishna.
So us following Krishna is better, Phil, than Krishna following us? What is more encouraging? What is more encouraging? What is more exciting, lucrative? What is more desired? Us following Krishna gives us more encouragement, or Krishna following us gives us more encouragement?
I don't think you can have one without the other. But ultimately, Krishna following us would be the most sort of encouraging for us.
Is there not any difference between us following Krishna and Krishna following us?
Well, yes, I guess we've attained some form of what Krishna would be pleased with by that stage for him to be following us. Or for Krishna to be following us, sorry.
There could be a huge difference, or there could be some difference in Krishna following us and us following Krishna. I could be following Krishna, but it could be an following for eternity. I'm yet following Krishna but not attained him. I'm yet following Krishna but not yet attained him. If I don't understand the mood, like as in says here, reveal your mind to devotee in confidence. So one thing is us following Krishna, another is Krishna following us. Raina's Pape and Adriana says the better, or rather best, is Krishna following us. When Krishna is following us, we are assured, na? If Krishna is following us, then what else confirmation do we need? Right now, who is following us? Krishna or our karmas? Who is following us? No? Right now, our karma is following us or Krishna? Our desires following us or haunting us or Krishna? Our subconscious mind impressions, karmic reactions, who is following us? We are being followed by our nature, our conditioned nature right now. But when we follow a pure devotee, only then, only and only then Krishna will follow us. Only and only then. only and only then Krishna becomes interested in us when we are interested in a devotee of Krishna. Otherwise, what is the purpose? Okay, Pete has a question or a comment.
Hare Krishna. Can you say really that you're following Krishna if you're not following this pure devotee? Like if you're really following Krishna, isn't Krishna following you already? So
nice question. I think question is this, right? That can I really say I'm following Krishna if I'm not following a devotee of Krishna? Throughout Bhagavad Gita, this is the message Krishna is giving. Mahatmanas tu mam partha devim prakriti mashrita. Bhajante ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. 9:13 Krishna says this and many places. And he says, na, to beautiful one message Krishna gives to Arjuna. What? Ye, he says to Arjuna that ye me bhakta seme priya. What is it? Like one who is a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. One who claims himself to be my direct devotee or to be my devotee is not actually a devotee of mine, but one who is a devotee of my devotee. So Krishna says this, ye me bhakta satama. Krishna, this is Krishna's opinion, he tells to Arjuna. So actually, if we are following Krishna, means we should be following a devotee of Krishna. Now it could be, there are many people, na, who, there many say in devotees also, they are devotees only, we cannot say they are not devotees, but they do not reveal their mind in confidence to another devotee. They do not see that personality in that light that he's so blessed spiritually. He's in touch with Krishna. So they what they will do, they will walk into the temple. They go to temple maybe daily. They might be offering some arti, they might be offering some prasad, giving some donation, and interested in chanting and all. And when you conduct programs, Janmashtami and all, they would come and be there. But they don't follow this culture what Rupa Goswami is giving us, and they do not follow the association or lead of a devotee. Yet, if you ask them, yes, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I have faith in Krishna. I worship Krishna. I like Bhagavad Gita. I like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. I like how Hare Rama, Hare Krishna do na Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. You do this na Hare Rama, Hare Krishna in the streets. I like that what you do. So there are people who say like this. That very good. You are one of the Hare Ramas, Hare Krishna, right? I've been to your centers, and my, my grandmother's sister's neighbor's in-laws milkman. He's a lifetime member of your Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So we are close. So there are people. There are people who know them what you do now with your you take a dab also na something dab dholak you play that dholak in the streets and you have that chunchuna thing na what is that called uh, that manjira what it's ding 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 something you do with it na so yeah so there are people who are Krishna devotees. We cannot say that they are not Krishna devotees, but they are not tuned in this culture with which what Rupa Goswami is giving us. Yeah, that thing. They could also be observing Ekadashi na? And with pride. Oh yes, we do Ekadashi. Bhagavad Gita, yes, we know Bhagavad Gita. Tell us something new. We have got a copy of Bhagavad Gita. We don't need it. Thank you. Of course, we are Indians. Won't we have a copy of Bhagavad Gita? What do you think? What do you mean? Huh? So until and unless we sell ourselves out to a devotee of Krishna, Krishna is not interested. Not interested. Krishna is busy, he is occupied with his pure devotees. So Krishna says, okay, and we cannot handle Krishna directly. So who is spiritual master? He's the customized manifestation of Krishna. He's the personal customized manifestation of Krishna for a sadhaka. He is as good as Krishna for a sadhaka, or rather, He is better than Krishna for a sadhaka. That vision has to be developed for a sadhaka. If we want to be serious in Krishna consciousness, then this instruction has to be followed. And it has to come a bit naturally. Even if we have to force ourselves to give gift to a devotee, to accept gift, to invite devotees for a house program and have them come through, give them prasad and all, we should force. Wherever we can push ourselves, we should always push ourselves. And if we have to push ourselves in revealing our mind, we should do that. And it might happen that, okay, initially understanding or practicing Krishna consciousness, we find every devotee very, very ultra pure devotee, say. And we want to reveal our hearts to everyone or to many devotees. And we may end up, initially what happened, oh, I will take Diksha from him. I will take Diksha from initiation from him. Uh, like there's so many gurus, I will take initiation from all of them, or who to choose from and all. But this initiation is a very pure process. It is a very sacred process. I'll say this in Hindi. Pani piyo छान के पानी पियो छान के गुरु करो जान के पानी पियो छान के meaning, sieve. What is, am I pronouncing correct? Sieve. Sieve. Yeah. Phil, sieve. What is sieve? If I'm pronouncing it correct. Or Deepti, Anuja, anyone knows?
Steve?
Sieve, na? SIEVE. Sieve. So that, for draining water, or suppose you're making, not draining water, but suppose you're making some food items and you want the water to pass, right? And hold in, say, washing spinach or washing, say, uh, couscous or something. So that, so water should be purified, means what? Filtered. That impurities will stain the sieve and the water will, the pure water will pass through, say. So that thing, it's more like a bit of a play of a word, but the message is true, it's pure. That one should be very careful in drinking filtered water. Okay, one should take filtered water, pure filtered water, and in accepting a guru also, it should not be done in haste. Should definitely not be done in haste, and much better if it is not done intelligently driven. See, that the can be very lethal if someone chooses a spiritual master based on his material intellect. That, wow, this particular personality, he looks good. I want someone who is 6 feet, and he's 6 feet. He speaks good English, and he speaks another language as well. He has a good followership, and he's very popular YouTube, like this. So if we go by any of this material intellect driven, and yes, what is when he sings, I like. When he leads kirtan, I like. I've seen his devotees and all. So if we go much by material intellect, very dangerous, because what intellect is telling us this person is good, and that same intellect, after a point in time, will tell where have you hung yourself up. Where have you stuck yourself? I'm not saying this could necessarily be the case. Like boy-girl relationship, many times what? Okay, intellect says, oh, this girl is pretty, she's nice, or this boy is good, we can be together. And later on, what? Oh, no, she's not the one, or he's not the one. We have to be driven by heart. When we are driven by heart, we can be rest assured. So it is a relationship. Relationship means giving time, building it up, developing faith, trust, checking each other out, spending time, and it is highly recommended to physically spend time with devotees, as in temple, serving together, uh, uh, going for pilgrimage together, retreats together, spending the time in person and engaging in services together. Then one can both see each other. Like someone inspiring for initiation, it is must to spend some physical time in close proximity with the spiritual master. Now see this beauty. Someone in male body, they have their certain advantages. Those who are in female body, they have their advantages and disadvantages. Someone in a male body is so blessed. The biggest advantage, say, in male body is he can physically associate with the spiritual master, with Guru Maharaj. Na? So much so he can share the room with Guru Maharaj. He can sleep in the same room with Guru Maharaj. He can wash, dress, iron, everything. He can get things ready. He can open his suitcase. He can tidy things. He can get his phone. Yeah, he can massage his feet. He can massage his head. He can massage his shoulder. Yeah. So much so he can give such physical proximity. He can live with him. He can share and everything. And look how blessed one could be in a male body that he can spend so much time with his Guru Maharaj. He can travel in car, in bus, in train, in plane with her. That thing is an obstacle for someone in a female body. She cannot come to this closeness level in physical sense. But in and this can be a bigger blockage also for someone in a male body. Suppose if you are not connected with heart level, but you are serving in this close proximity, and if one starts seeing fault in the spiritual master, will be lethal, will be heavy, will push him like anything behind in Krishna consciousness. Very, very dangerous. And someone in female body is blessed with what? General kindness, general service attitude, general care attitude. That heart is very open, it just needs good direction giving and then can serve. And someone in female body, if she can develop this remorse, this momentum. Remorse is a great thing. Remorse is a great, great thing for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. That if she can feel this pain, this pinch that I am deprived, I cannot travel with my spiritual master, I cannot eat with my spiritual master, I cannot share the rooms and all. So if one can feel this pinch, if one can feel that, oh, I've been so deprived or of my, say, material conditioning and this thing, or of, say, the body I am in. I'm so deprived that I cannot do this personal physical seva. Then she can create a momentum and what? She can serve in spirit through mind. Manasi seva, which is the highest, that thing, that bringing that heart. Okay, any thoughts, questions, comments, or clarifications? So, you've got something to say? Yeah, okay.
Hare Krishna. Maybe we've already discussed this, but if you could comment like on what is it that we're inquiring in these 6 instructions here, and what is it that we're revealing on our mind?
Yeah, very nice question. Very good question. What is it we are inquiring? Our inquiry should be all what? For the ultimate perfection of human form of life. Hmm. The inquiry shouldn't be that, okay, how to get more physical benefits, comfort sorted. Like by inquiring, oh, I have this inquiry to this sadhu, monk, devotee. Can you kindly help resolve this inquiry, which will make me more advanced or comfort, which will provide me comfort in eating, which solve my eating problem or sleeping problem or defending problem or sense gratification. I have this inquiry that what, how can I do this so that I can attract more money? How can I do this so that I can attract more women in my life? No, that not that sort of inquiry. Our now that we are practicing Krishna consciousness, na, so our every focus, every thought would be scaling this temporary life towards eternity. That should be our every thought, focus, and inquiry. So inquiry, now that inquiry could be anything: job change, location change. uh, that inquiry could be anything, but it should be for on these lines. That which helps me develop attachment towards Krishna, develop attachments towards devotee. That should be the inquiry. That is it going? How is it going to help me advance in Krishna consciousness? That. And revealing the mind, okay, we know I have this thing going on in the mind, and it is not directly helping me advance in Krishna consciousness, more of a material thing. But still, we can reveal it. We should reveal it. We should. Revealing is to be openness, no? This trust. Look, now we say, now what? How many generally, suppose someone creates a Facebook account, what could be the normal stats? If someone creates a Facebook account just now, and in 2 days, how many friends can he or she expect to be having on Facebook? Just a random numbers if you want to give. Minimum 50, fair to say? What do you say, Nikhil?
पहले तो प्रभु 10 होंगे 10.
Well, see, who will go as such creating an account on Facebook? Someone who is a bit social or wants to be social on Facebook, right? And of course, there could be many other things around it. But keeping a simplistic view, if someone is opening an account on Facebook, in 2 days, 3 days, what minimum 100 friends if come about, it's not a big deal, right? And on an average, I don't know how many account users are there in Facebook, but on an average, how many? Someone having 300 friends, is it too many in Facebook? Now, this friendship or this knowing someone, what does this knowing mean? Does it mean knowing by, okay, I know she weighs 60 kilos, she's 5 feet 4 inch? Is that knowing? I know she works in IT. I know she's very fond of makeup. I know she likes this color dress, and I know she likes pizza a lot. Is this knowing the person? Huh? Knowing the person, what does it mean more knowing the person? Knowing the heart of the person, knowing the mind of the person. That is real knowing. So how many actually can we people have we touched or can we touch like this now? That is the real knowing. So inquiry should be to this end, which helps me strengthen my Krishna consciousness. And this relationship, when knowing, this should be the revelation. This should be what we should be inquiring, asking for. And what was the other thing you mentioned? The question was inquiring what to inquire and what should we reveal. Yeah. So our revealing, our sharing our heart, na, that revealing could be again something material, mm, seemingly, or it could be a material substance revelation, but still that is good. At least I'm revealing towards the devotee. Very good. So this revealing is such a great asset or quality. Once we reveal, then we are free. Half of the job is done. Huh? Half of the job is done. That what? Okay. On my part, I have Krishna, I have revealed to your devotee. Now the devotee, of course, matured. He will give the proper response and all. And once he gives the response, then Krishna's blessings comes with it. Hmm. Once the devotee gives the response, then the blessing is there. So revealing or this inquiring is to engage or attract the blessing of Krishna. There are many devotees who don't reveal, who don't inquire, and they might be chanting Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Huh? They might be observing fast, or they could be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, for good many years, but they have not yet found someone with whom they can reveal, or they have found 10. 10 is a huge number to inquire or reveal with someone. Huh? We were saying that one book is what Prabhupada wrote, Easy Journey to Other Temples. Now this is a fascinating title, na? Easy Journey to Other Temples. Sorry, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And what can happen? Easy journey to other temples, easy journey to other centers, easy journey to other devotees. Yeah? Easy journey to so many things, na? Easy journey. Why? Because we give the mind this shortcut or this thing, and then we easily give in. So, see this the Krishna consciousness, na? Guru what? Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru, someone uh, actually Chaitya Guru, na? One who reveals Krishna in the heart. Chaitya Guru. Then Diksha Guru, one who initiates the sadhaka, one who trains or say initiates or takes the sadhaka towards Krishna. And Siksha Guru, one who educates the sadhaka in Krishna consciousness. Now, traditionally, bygone ages, the Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru used to be the pretty much the same person, and same would be the Chaitya Guru. But now, in this current societal settings, Siksha Guru could be different, Diksha Guru could be different, and Chaitya Guru is one who reveals Krishna in the heart. But the role of Siksha Guru is what? To help the sadhaka develop attachment towards Diksha Guru. That should be the role. Siksha meaning what? Education. So this getting Krishna conscious education, this instructions from nectar of instruction, it should lead us where? To develop attachment towards Krishna. To develop attachment towards devotees of Krishna, to develop attachment towards spiritual master. Okay, Nikhil, you have something to say, add, or maybe ask?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, we read in like Srila Prabhupada's books, instructs of like a spiritual master. So, a spiritual master, whom is he revealing it to? Like, is he revealing because a neophyte devotee or a starting devotee or whatever? So, who is a spiritual master for him? Is it like the Grantha Bhagavad itself or any Bhakt Bhagavad? Any?
Well, any Bhakt Bhagavat, it's not like any Bhakt Bhagavat, na? Bhakt Bhagavat is a one who is sheltered or taken shelter of Bhagavat. So if I understand your question is for a sadhaka, for an initiate, for a practicing sadhaka, who is the spiritual master? Is that the question?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, who is the spiritual master again? Spiritual master, we have many gurus. We have many gurus, but then we have to single out someone. So, spiritual master in principle is that personality to begin with whom I do not have any fault, with whom I have spent time personally, and I see no fault. Rather, I see immense attraction from him, immense attachment. When he speaks, the most important is the speech. So when he speaks, he literally makes Krishna conscious alive for me. He makes Krishna a live person for me. He makes Krishna very attractive to me when he speaks. When he speaks, he's seeing Krishna. He knows Krishna. That personality with whom I have no fault, rather with whom I have attachment, I have a natural bond, a connection, and I would want to develop further and further attachment and attraction. That is the personality we are looking for, one who is very much surrendered to his spiritual master. Huh? One who is surrendered by body, action, mind, words, deeds to Krishna. One who is pure in his speech, one who is lust free, in whose eyes we see no lust, in whose eyes we see Radha Krishna. One who is gross matter, lust free in terms of hankering for name, fame, money, possession. Also, of course, lust free with this societal and man and woman physical relationship. Of course, that has to be completely lust free. one who is non-political, one who has no political agenda, one who has no conflicts, one who is very unassuming personality. Unassuming as in one who does not rank, one who is not into gradation. And how do we observe such a personality, his talk, his walk, and everything? Is when we fervently pray to Krishna that Krishna, I would want to know you more. Uh, Kindly reveal yourself to me. What is the way? I would want to serve you. How do I serve you? Krishna says, find my person and serve him, and that is how you serve me. So when we pray to Krishna, we have to pray to Krishna to tell him, Krishna, please do not engage my mind or intelligence in this. I don't. We all of us, na, Adriana, all of us would have come across in life some point wherein we had a very heartfelt emotion. To some degree, we would have had some heartfelt emotion, some heartfelt longing, craving towards someone or something. Or when people say, "No, I've been guided by the universe," or uh, by I have a gut feeling, or this some feeling from inside that yes, this is the call, this is what I want to do, and all. So when such thing, now when we have a heartfelt emotion, some heartfelt stirring going on, some message in the heart, then that conviction is very different. That conviction is very different. It is a very natural conviction. And that conviction we have to attain by when we follow this particular instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. We can be the highest wealthy person, the most richest person when we reveal our mind to a devotee, when we inquire for him and we check. And we have to check the devotee also. Na? Is he anger free? A devotee, he should be anger free. He should not be having anger issues. No? He should not get angry uh, on small little subject matters or quickly getting angry. No, he should be calm, peaceful, gentle, and furthermore attached to Krishna. So when we pray, Krishna will send that person. And on our part, we should also be growing. And the culmination, there are many culmination points in Krishna consciousness. Na? So our practice, it should lead us where the practice should lead us to come to this point. The philosophy will help to develop this culture. What is the point? We are mucked up the philosophy, but we have not come to this culture of friendship with devotees. Na? Who does Krishna live with? With his friends only, no? In spiritual world, Nikhil, there are only two tattvas predominantly say. What? Sakha or Sakhi. Huh? That only. It's spiritual world is all mood, is all friendship, all love, all joy. To bring joy to Krishna. Whichever party one could be in spiritual world. But the mood is this. Even though externally or apparently there could be looking some competition or some taunt or something conspiracy or some going on, but that is all to enhance the rasa. So this thing has to come about wherein we free ourselves from gradations, from material calculations, material temptations, and a genuine friendship is there. So when we educate ourselves, when we build our attitude on those lines, when we practice Krishna consciousness and when we channelize our prayers in this way, one, we have to be like, if we really want Krishna, if we really want to know Krishna, we have to know the heart of a devotee. If we manage to enter into the heart of a devotee, then yes, again a question. Uh, Suppose we manage to, we are blessed to enter in the heart of a devotee. What will we find in the heart of a devotee? Hmm?
Krishna, love for Krishna.
We'll find Radha Krishna, we'll find Krishna, we'll find love for Krishna in the heart of a devotee. So this is where love for Krishna or Radha Krishna reside in the heart of a devotee. And this culture, this particular instruction is asking us, helping us, wanting us to develop such a mood in our practice of Krishna consciousness wherein we pray, we hanker to enter into the heart of a devotee. And we'll find nothing but Radha Krishna, pure love for Krishna in the heart of a devotee. When we pray, prayer is in our heart and in our hand. There is an utmost essential element with prayer. What? There has to be eagerness in the prayer. Prayer, but not eagerness. Then the momentum or the substance, the spirit will fade off. Very quickly will fade away. It is that eagerness we have to build in the prayer. Very eager, very eager to serve Krishna, eager to see Krishna, eager to meet a pure devotee of Krishna. Same thing, na? When we learn how to live with a pure devotee of Krishna, we have then learned how to live with Krishna. So for a sadhaka, who is a spiritual master? Yes, Granth Bhagavad is there, Harinam is there, Japa is there, but Granth Bhagavad will never come and slap us on the wrist, or Granth Bhagavad, the book Bhagavad, will never come or hold our ears. Japa, the bead bag or beads will never come and slap our wrist or hold our ear. And they will never come to pat our back also say. The deities, we are not that blessed enough that deities will speak directly to us. But who can do this job? Say slapping our wrist or patting us on the back. A person Bhagavat, na? A devotee in person, presently present. So we have to pray for Krishna, pray to Krishna for that. Does this answer your question, Nikhil?
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you.
And these are the symptoms we should be seeing. We reveal our mind, the temptations, the demands, the hankerings of the mind. Then we are rest assured. Half of the yes, I have done my part. I have told the problem to Krishna. And also we should reveal our enthusiasm, our aim, aspiration, desires, of course. And we should thank, glorify. We should never shy away from glorifying. Never shy away. This culture, no, genuine friendship, genuine glorification. In Facebook, it is easy to make friends. In Instagram, Twitter, where not, na? Easy to make friends, to have friends online, WhatsApp and all. But real friendship is what? When we cry, how many hands come forward to say wash the tear? Hmm? When we are in pain, how many hands come forward? That thing. Okay, any other thoughts, points, comments, or clarification?
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So
Mhm.
I just require a clarification on like the difference between like pretension, imitation, and following. Like I just require some clarity on
Yeah,
this.
very nice. Distinction difference between pretension. So someone who is pretending. I believe pretension by you means someone who is pretending, if it's an English word and if that means. But someone who is pretending. Pretending, imitating, imitation and following. See, in imitation, the mood is replacement. Imitating, like Prabhupada gave this example, na, and Prabhupada himself experienced this. What? He was in Japan, I believe, or in this Japanese company, big printing company, and they used to print Bhagavad Gita Krishna book. Huh? So he was in a meeting with one of the persons, one of the senior persons, then negotiating the deal. So and his boss went out of that meeting. His boss went out of the room for that time for a moment. So he asked the assistant that what is your aim? What do you want to be in life? Yeah, what say like 2 years, 5 years? Prabhupada asked something like that. You know what did that assistant do? He pulled out his visiting card from his pocket, say, and what did he do? He swiped away the visiting card of his boss and he put his visiting card there. So telling Prabhupada that this is my aim. What? I want to become the senior director. So in society, imitation to replace the person. Imitation is to replace. And in following ship, we never want to replace. It is a very heinous thought to replace. Spiritual master is irreplaceable. Radha Krishna, devotee, this devotional sentiment is irreplaceable. Following means what? Glorifying. Follow is to glorify. Follow is to acknowledge how blessed we are uh, throughout. That how blessed we have been made. That is following. And imitation, there is no mood of imitation is that how can I copy him? Then how can I replace him? How can I take his position? And in following ship, we never want to take the devotee's position. We can never take. We would want to serve him forever and forever and ever. Does this answer your question, Nikhil?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So love is in this relationship, this sentiment. We have to come to this mood and sentiment, and there's no stopping male body or female body or no. Of course, there are some challenges around it. Male body has its advantages, disadvantages, female body advantages, disadvantages, but nothing stopping us from coming in this instruction. And this is pivotal for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. So that's, this culture has to be really embraced altogether. And see, love, na? Love. This is the culture of love. And so funny thing with love, love is the most spoken emotion, most described, most spoken emotion phenomena in this world, but the least understood. What is love? What love means? And when we see the lifestyle, the personality of Rupa Goswami Acharyas and Brajvasis, and amongst Brajvasis, the gopis, then we get into a glimpse of what love means actually. Love is inexplicable. Love cannot be explained. And it is not to be put in words. It cannot be put in words. But when we see the love of Brajvasis and especially gopis for Yugala Murti, na? Yugala Sarkar, that love is like what? Akashi Ganga, na? Love is like Akashi Ganga flowing towards the Yugala Sarkar, Yugala Murti. There's no force to break it, penetrate it. No force. No one can check that flow of love. So we pray that we be in this loving devotee relationship. Thank you very much for your kind participation and encouragement. We continue tomorrow, seeing further. Yes, Nikhil, you were saying something?
Sorry, Prabhu, like I'm taking your time. Hare Krishna. So I had this one more doubt, like how to handle glory or some positive comment and not let it become pride, not let it become.
How to deal with glory or appreciation, na? And not let get carried away by it and all. Our glory is what? That we are a devotee of Krishna. Uh, that is our glory. No? If at all we have any glory, our glory is what? We practice Krishna consciousness. And what makes us practice Krishna consciousness? It is devotees' blessings that make us practice Krishna consciousness. Uh, So the glory should be given where? To devotees only. That is where it should belong. Whatever we are because of devotee. Uh, If at all, whatever Krishna consciousness we are practicing, it is because of the blessing and mercy of devotee. And that is where it should be reposed or given. That is the appropriate. Uh, and we cannot like never thank enough. We can never thank enough. But it is this attitude that I can never thank enough. Only that is required. So if we keep this, that yes, every glory, it is Krishna's devotees. And anything insult coming towards me, yes, that is my own foolishness. And that is my own self-centeredness. That is my own ego. And when in love, now we would pass on the glory. When we were in love, we would see it is this thing now between Radha Krishna, Brajvasis, and Radha Krishna and his sakhas and sakhis say, it's like they find each other so beautiful. They find each other tremendously beautiful. Radha Krishna एक आत्मा दुई देह धरी अन्य अन्य विलसने रसा स्वादन करे. They are supremely attracted by each other. Likewise, we should be attracted by the glory of spiritual master, by the glory of devotees. And when we are in love with them, we will definitely give that credit to them only. We won't hold any credit for ourselves. Once we discuss now what 99.99 recurring. What does this recurring mean? 99.99 now on and on and on and on 99 continuously. So that should be the thing. And point uh, 011 is what? Okay, I am sustaining myself. That I'm just being an instrument, and what is coming to me is the mercy of devotees. That 99.99 on and on recurring. For that, we have to be in that culture, in that relationship, and when we are in a genuine loving relationship, we will pass on that glory to the devotee. We will. We may not directly come into that culture. It may take a time. It may take some effort. We should make efforts, whatever efforts is required. And we can never make that extra effort. It is not an extra effort. It is the bare minimum we can do. Does this answer your question, Nikhil?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very nice questions. Okay, thank you very much again. We find our absorption more and more in the nectar of instructions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.